All right, so getting your campaign structure right is probably one of the most important parts of your ads, especially when it comes to that long-term scaling factor. If you're not properly testing and you don't have the back end set up the right way, you're gonna have a really difficult time and you're gonna be fighting an uphill battle trying to scale. So first thing we're gonna do is click on create, and then we're gonna go to leads, continue. Always gonna do a manual leads campaign. And then once this loads, we're just gonna go ahead and name this. I like to do date. You don't really need a certain naming structure, but for me, I personally do date, and then let's just set this up as a window tint campaign as an example. And then I like to do company name, so we'll put Tinted Media at the back half of that. Now, special ad categories, campaign details, all of this stuff we can ignore for a basic campaign. If you're running like a hiring ad, for example, you would need to categorize your ad under these special categories, but again, we're not gonna worry about that right now. So once that's set up, we're gonna dive into the ad set. Now, I typically name these by both the creative or the video, and then also by the audience I'm testing. So if this is ad one or video one, and we're doing open targeting, and then this is gonna be open placements. We do experiment with placements, but it's not gonna be in the first round of testing. Really quickly, actually, let's hop into this. So this is gonna be the campaign structure based on different ad spend levels. Before I go any further, just so you understand the back end, it's super important that you know why we're doing certain things. If we're at 20 to 50 a day, which is what I'm gonna set this up as just because it's the most simple and it's gonna be the easiest for me to get through. First ad set is gonna be open targeting. Second is age and gender. And then we are testing 2 hooks inside of each. So it's the exact same ad body, only difference being the hooks. And then these are gonna be all the exact same, only difference between the ad sets being the targeting. Now, if we've got 50 to 100 per day, it's gonna look similar, but we've now got 2 ad bodies, so ad 1 and ad 2. We're gonna add a 3rd hook in, and then we are able to test 4 ad sets at a time instead of just 2. Targeting for the actual ad sets is gonna be the same. One is gonna be open, one is gonna be age and gender. These 2 audiences typically work super well, and it's just about finding which is best in your specific area, which is why we test that. Once we have found that, everything is just gonna run straight to that audience because it's probably what's gonna continue to work best for you. Now, once we get to 100 per day plus in ad spend, what we're gonna do is essentially the same thing as 50 to 100, but more volume. So typically we're gonna recommend anywhere from $20 to $40 per ad set, and then you would just go through this process as many times as needed. So if you were spending 300 a day and you chose $30 per ad set, you would end up with 10 ad sets. That's 5 ad bodies, 3 hooks for each body, and then same targeting setup here. So let's hop back in. Once you've got this done, make sure you're on instant forms, and then we're gonna go ahead and select a page. So let's do Tinted Media. All right, next thing is gonna be the budget. So like I said, we're gonna do this as a $50 per day campaign. We're just gonna put the budget at $25, open targeting, open placements, instant forms, our Facebook page, dynamic creative, leave that off. If I don't touch it, just leave it off. End date off, budget off. Audience controls, this is where we are going to add in the city. So as an example, I'm in Chicago. Let's do Chicago as our city. There we go. And we can narrow this down to 10 miles. We really don't even need it. It has 1.8 to 2.1 million, which is way more than we need for the audience. Only time you should ever worry about that is if it gets below the 100,000 range. And even then you're typically gonna be okay. The only time I would never run an ad is if you're below like 25,000 people. Make sure that this is off. We do not want people interested in the selected region. We want people in the selected region. Advantage creative, we're gonna leave off because this is advantage audience, we leave off because this is the open targeting ad set. Same thing with placements, it's open placements ad set. So we're gonna go ahead and click on next. And then I just like to name this by the video and the hook. So if this is video 1, hook 1, we would name it as so. Now we can scroll down, and I'm gonna go ahead and create the form just to show you guys what that looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and clear the auto form. I like to name this 1-13, aka the date, and then we'll name it window tint. All right. Now intro, I like to leave all of this blank. Then we're gonna go to next. All right, enter message. I like to say, please enter the best contact info for you below, period. We will text you more info. I like to do text just so that people actually fill in the correct phone number. Occasionally you'll have problems with people filling out a number that they don't really use or that's fake or whatever it might be. So I like to just add that in just as an extra layer of security. Now I'm also gonna go ahead and add a short answer question for what type of car do you have? And then in parentheses, year, make, model. Okay, there we go. And then I'll add a question mark. Now, I wouldn't do this to start the campaign, but as you're scaling, if you're getting extremely low cost per lead and you don't want to have to deal with so many leads coming in and you just want to have the qualified people, you can start to add in conditional logic questions. So what this would look like is, first one I would add is going to be, how soon are you looking to get a tint, window tint? Answer 1 would just be as soon as possible, right? Immediately. Answer 2 is going to be 1 to 2 weeks. And then we will just go like this. This is going to be 2 to 4 weeks. And this is going to be 4+ weeks. Now we're going to come up here and select conditional logic. And I'm going to go ahead and apply submit form in page for leads. Apply that to all answers. And then I'm going to switch this to close form because we don't want to take people in who are looking to get the work done more than a month out. There's just no point in talking to that lead. If you do the rest of the stuff right, you're going to have so many people coming in that you just cannot handle them. For this, you can literally just put your website. Doesn't have to really be a privacy policy from what we've found. And then on the end page, we like to actually add a calendar link in here. So it'll say one more step. And let me just explain this out real fast. So it would say like one more step. Book a phone consultation with the team below. And then this would just say, pretend like this is a calendar link. I'm going to put my website, but pretend it's the link. And this would say book now. And then this one you can just leave as the website since it is for the disqualified leads. tintedmedia.com. And that is pretty much it for creating the form. Now I'm actually going to X out of this and then go back up. Don't want to save it just because it's my real account. Next thing we need to do is actually create the video. So we use 11 Labs and CapCut for the videos. Highly recommend. It's like $20 a month for both of them. Get it. You won't regret it. I'll leave links below. So for the video, first thing we need to do is call out the audience that we want. So I'm in Chicago. I want to say something crazy to catch their attention. Are you driving around Chicago in a fishbowl? And all right, now we've called out the audience. We've slightly called out a problem, but let's really expose the problem now, or instill the idea that they need a change would be a better way to put it. If so, you need to, there it is. So if yes, you're driving around in a fishbowl, you need to make this change. Get a window tint ASAP. Now, what are the benefits of the solution, aka window tint? Window tint will protect your car's interior from the sun's harmful UV rays. It will give you extra privacy on the road, and it will keep your car cool during summer. All right, and now that we've explained that, let's hop into a call to action. So if you want to give your car the upgrade it deserves, click learn more, click on get quote now. But don't delay. We have limited slots and prices will be rising soon. Okay, so we've got our call out. We've got a little bit of digging into the pain, showing they need a change. And then we've got the benefits, call to action, and then scarcity. So are you driving around Chicago in a fishbowl? If so, you need to get a window tint ASAP. Window tint will protect your car's interior from the sun's harmful UV. It will give you extra privacy, and it will keep your car cool during summer. If you want to give your car the upgrade it deserves, click on Get Quote Now. But don't delay. We have limited spots, and prices will be rising soon. So that kind of encapsulates every major part that we want.
Are you driving around Chicago in a fishbowl?
In the ad. Now, let's go ahead and download this. We can just say audio 1, and we're going to now pull up CapCut. So let me open this up. I've actually already added a project that has all the footage we need just to speed the process up. Let's see here, menu, there we go. This is it right here. All right, now let me just blow around to this screen. There we go. So let's add first thing the audio in. So audio 1. Now what I like to do here is basically just clip where the video naturally clips. So you can see like my first cut is going to be right there where the audio almost naturally has the video cutting because it has a pulse. So I'm going to go ahead and slide this to the back end. I just think this is a more catchy look, you could say, right here with the completed car.
Are you driving around?
So we're going to have it like that, completed car. Now it introduces the problem, not are you driving? If so, you need to get a window tint. So we want to show a car that has clearly got a good tint, just like this. Now, as we go into explaining the service, I'm going to want to have some videos of the service actually getting complete. Just going to slide the volume down. Let's see. I'm going to create a clip right here. And then I'm actually just going to use this exact same video here as well. But I'm going to trim it so that we have a different cut. So now it's going to go like this.
Window tint will protect your car's interior from the sun's harmful UV rays. It will give you extra privacy on the road, and it will keep your car cool during summer.
So we don't want it to swing back around to the same thing. So let's trim back. How much? There we go. Let's see how this
Full
looks.
UV rays. It will give you extra privacy on the road.
Yeah, I like that. All right, now what's next?
If you want to give your car the upgrade it
deserves, so we're gonna put that. Boom, and that's all after video, perfect. Now I think I'm gonna add that same Tesla back in and then just clip it here with a different angle. So you can see the videos don't need to be like insane. You can record it on your iPhone. 2018 you're gonna be it's really just about structuring things properly, and you know, you have to have a decent quality video, but if everything else is done right, you'll be good to go. I like to use $1 Million Hip Hop as my audio. There's no actual reasoning behind that. I mean, it's a catchy song. It works for our ads. And then I always do volume as -20 decibels. And then let's see, let me actually trim this a little more so that logo gets cut out. There we go. And then text, advanced, generate. All right. Generating. Now we are going to go to templates. I like to use this big bubble right here.
Are you driving around Chicago?
I drag this up just so that the placements work out on Facebook, and you'll see that in a second. Now I'm going to save this as hook 1, video 1. And then once it downloads, we are just going to navigate back over to Facebook.
Are you driving around?
There we go. We can X out of this now. X and Facebook. So setup creative, video ad. We're going to skip this for now. Just going to go ahead and add the media, upload hook 1, video 1. While this uploads, I'm going to show you guys the thought processes and whatnot behind the ad copy. So attention, city name, obvious, call out the city, and then dig into a pain point. Your car is one of your most valuable assets, but you drive around with it unprotected every day. Present the solution. Luckily, there's a solution that will protect your car for years to come and keep it in pristine condition. What are the benefits? Getting a quality ceramic coating will keep your car safe, bring out a deep shine, and make it easier to clean. I just realized this is actually a window tint that we need, so let me drop this down. And let's go to window tint. All right, there we go. Same idea. Do you want to protect your car? We can help. Benefits, social proof, what's the process of working with us, customer review, more social proof, and then your call to action. Now the video should be done uploading, so we're going to select on that, click on next, don't trim it. This is where the placements come in. This is why it was good to...
Are you driving around Chicago in a fish...
Keep the captions up high. Leave this one the same, and then click on next. I personally don't do any of these advantage enhancements. I wouldn't recommend it. All right, once that is done, we're going to just go ahead and paste this directly in. Now, obviously, if you were making this campaign yourself, you would simply drop in your info right there. Now, let's see. We're going to just go ahead and paste this. So add text. Paste, same thing, drop in the info. I would also recommend, making your own copy, not directly taking what we've got, but, at the end of the day, I can't really stop you. So if you want to, go ahead and take it. Now we're just gonna add in the headlines. Super simple here as well. I like to do a social proof and a social proof headline, and then also a call to action headline. So get free quote and 5-star window tint. That's pretty much it for the ad side of things. So we've got video, we've got the video uploaded, all of the copies in, the headlines are in, we've got the form made. Now, if you want to get advanced, you can set this up. You don't need to. You're going to get a good cost per lead without it. Just depends on the budget. Now, for call to action button, I like, again, get quote. So I'm just going to select that. And that is it for the ad. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and duplicate this. All right, quick duplicate. Now, this is going to be video 1, hook 2. So what we're going to do here is leave everything the same, except we're going to add our second hook. So hook 2 would go here. Creative is the only thing that changes. Once that is in for a $20 to $50 campaign, that's all that we need to do. We're just going to duplicate the ad set, and then we're going to switch this to 22 to 60, which is what I typically like. Mail only, open placements. And then we are going to go and add an audience suggestion. So this is going to be 22 up to 60, and then mail only. That is the campaign setup process for a low budget Facebook campaign. So as you can see, super simple. Just make sure you've got everything set up correct and you'll be good to go. You do need to set up a place to receive the forms. There's going to be a video coming soon on high level setup, so keep an eye out for that. But before then, let's hop into how to optimize the campaign, which again is probably the most important part. So for campaign optimization, we want to open up the ad set level. And there's two major numbers that we're looking for. So make sure you've got performance and clicks on the dropdown. If you have not gotten leads or you've gotten very little leads, we're going to start by looking at these numbers, CPM and CTR link. Link click-through rate is important. Do not look at your overall link click-through rate or CTR at all. So cost per 1,000 impressions, we want to keep below 10 at all times. If this gets above 10, there's one of 3 issues most likely. Number 1, most likely, is that you have a bad creative. Number 2, kind of second most likely, is that your placements are off. So you should add stories and reels only, which is one of the optimizations that we make down the line anyway. And then number 3 is that your audience is off, which is the least likely because one of these 2 usually hits. Now, let's say that your CPM is below $10, but your CTR, click-through rate, is below 0.5, which is kind of the benchmark that we're using for no offer ads or ads that only incentivize the person to click for a free quote. 0.5 is the benchmark. So if CTR is below 0.5, then we've got an issue with scarcity, or maybe we need to add an offer in for that specific market. I would try the scarcity first. If you're leaving out the end, like prices are rising soon, don't delay, you are going to have some issues with that. So make sure that that is dialed in. Or add an offer, try and do it as low as possible so you get as little discount shoppers as possible. Now, what happens if your CPM is below 10 and your CTR is above 0.5, but you're still not getting a good cost per lead? Well, the issue then is probably going to be in your form or landing page. So how slow is the site speed? Is it loading at an insanely long time that nobody wants to wait through? How many questions do you have in your form? Maybe take some out, take some of that friction away so that people can fill it out easier. And that is pretty much going to be the big factor there. Now, let's say you found a winning ad set. Let's say that ad set with the 22 to 60 mail only and open placements absolutely crushes. We get, let's say our KPI for simple numbers is $10 a lead and we get $5 a lead. That's amazing. What we want to do is shut this other one off. We're going to duplicate this, and now we're going to test out placements. So we're going to go into here, click on edit placements, manual placements, uncheck this, uncheck these 2, drop this down, make sure that this is only on stories and reels, and then drop this down, uncheck, 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 Instagram profile feed off, video feeds off. So all we have now is these 6 placements. That's kind of how you know you've done it. And then we're going to publish that. Now, whichever one of these wins, we're going to duplicate and just continue iterating on little things. Could be more questions in the form, could be a slightly improved creative, better call to action, whatever it might be. Just continue to iterate and split test against the winner until you get to a point where your split tests are actually doing worse than your winning campaign. Then scale the winner to 80 to 90% of the overall budget that you want, and use the remaining 10 to 20% to continue those tests and look for something that's going to be better. There should never be a time where you are not testing new things, or else you're going to have fatigue and you're going to be stuck without a winning ad. So if you do all that and you do it properly over a long time horizon, you are going to have amazing success with your Facebook ads. But none of this is really going to matter if you don't have a good system in place to automatically track your leads, nurture your leads. And that's going to be what the next video actually covers, is how do you track and nurture your leads automatically to know how to optimize the campaign based on where sales are coming from, not leads. So go ahead and subscribe, on the lookout for that. All the links for the softwares we use are going to be in the link below. That's Go High Level, that is CapCut, 11 Labs, etc. Go check those out, see what you can use, and book a call with me directly if you want to work one-on-one and actually get this stuff implemented, completely done for you, and have your leads called and qualified, again, done for you. I will see you in the next one.